So today we're going to do something slightly different. Kinda. I'm going to be testing out the Wavlink AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 mesh system. It's a dual band system, and instead of testing it out in my home where I test most products out, I'm going to be testing it out in a family member's house. Now, I already have a mesh system installed in my house, and I have a family member who has awful Wi-Fi, and so I decided to use their house as the test bed for this product so that we could see how well it actually works in comparison to what they currently have, which is just the stock AT&T provided gateway. So I'm going to jump into an unboxing, and then from there we're going to do all of our testing and then compare the results. Here we have the front of the box, and then I'm going to flip this over so you can see the back of the box and see some of the specifications. Feel free to pause this if you'd like to read this. I did take some of the information and I put it on an infographic for you guys to make it a little bit easier to read. Now, I'm not going to go through and read this entire thing to you, but I did hit some of the key features of the product in the next couple of slides here. So it is able to have 256 plus devices connected to it, which is considered high capacity, and that's very good for a system like this. It does also have both an Apple and an Android application, so you can control it and configure it from your mobile device. Now, Wavlink has done something a little different. They have this thing called TouchLink Connect, and that's to be used for guests, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. The system is scalable, so you can add as many of these devices as you need to cover your entire home. And I really do like how this system features WPA3 because a lot of devices are still stuck on WPA2. So it's really good to see that they have the latest security features intact. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this opened up and we're going to see what all you get in the box. First up, you get a quick start guide. And then from there, you're going to get a Wi-Fi coverage map. In case you've never used a mesh system before, this is going to show you placement for each node. Then we have some safety information. And then in the box, inside of the box, we have two RJ45 Ethernet cables, as well as two power adapters. Now, each power adapter is connected with a barrel connector. And then last but not least, we have the two Wavlink AX3000 nodes, and we'll go ahead and take a look at those now. Now, my initial impressions of this are they are built very well. It's got a nice soft finish. It's matte on the casing, and then the top has this nice teal finish. There is an LED ring that goes around the top of the teal part that separates the white body from the teal top, and then the lettering at the top where it says Wavlink also illuminates with color. Now, taking a look at the ports from left to right, we have the identical ports on both of these devices. We have a pinhole size reset switch, and then we have an on-off switch. And then from there, we have a pair button. This is the button you're going to use if you want to add more nodes to your network. And then we have our barrel connector, which is just our power adapter or DC in. And then from there, we have 2 gigabit LAN ports. And then we have a 1 gigabit WAN port. Flipping this over on the bottom, you'll just see the standard information you'd see on most routers: serial number, MAC address, pair keys, stuff like that. And then if we take a look at the top and we get the stickers off, to use the TouchLink service, you're actually going to press it above the Wavlink logo. And what that is it allows your guests to connect to a guest-enabled Wi-Fi network without you having to provide the password. So all they need to do is press the top of the router and it will connect them directly to the network. Now I want to transition to doing some testing on the AT&T provided gateway just so we have something to compare to the Wavlink system. First, we're going to start off doing a speed test indoors next to the gateway so we can see what our best results are. Now, we end up with a download speed of 363 megabits per second and an upload speed of 373 megabits per second with a ping of 18 milliseconds, which isn't too bad. I don't know the actual service that my family member is paying for, but this is the best we're getting right next to the actual gateway. So before we hook up the Wavlink mesh system, I'm going to do a distance test on the AT&T gateway, and then we've already done a speed test on the gateway as well, and I just want to do a little comparison after we get the Wavlink hooked up to see how much better it is in terms of raw performance. Now, just for perspective, the gateway is installed in this corner right here of the house, and then I'm basically just going to walk in a straight line
as far away as I can go until the Wi-Fi actually cuts out. And then from there, we will hook up the Wavlink system, and we're going to put the base here, and then we're going to put the second unit upstairs, and we're going to see what kind of performance differences we get in terms of distance when I do the exact same thing, walking all the way back that way again. So for this part of the test, I'm going to be using my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and we're going to be testing the distance of the Wi-Fi with the AT&T provided gateway, and then we're going to redo the test using the Wavlink mesh system. So we're going to see how far I can go, and then I'll stop every time I lose a bar on my Wi-Fi service on my iPhone, and we'll just kind of measure the distance at each point. So here we go. So I've lost 1 bar of signal on my Wi-Fi, and now we're going to measure the distance to see how far away from the house we actually are. I'd say about 90 feet. It keeps fluctuating. So we're about 90 feet. So we're going to keep going.
If you can't tell, I'm actually right here.
I just did a speed test there. If I wasn't facing the actual gateway, then I only had 1 bar. And if I turned around and faced the house, then it gave me 2 bars. The service did work, but it was much slower. So we'll kind of use that as the point. I don't know how far away it was in terms of feet because my app wouldn't measure that far away. However, we'll basically use the exact same points for the Wavlink system as well. So I'm actually upstairs now, and we're going to do another Wi-Fi test. You can see that when we're upstairs, I only get 2 bars of Wi-Fi service, but overall the service quality up here doesn't work. It's very slow to load things, and I'm interested to see what we get for speeds.
So it's interesting, this starts off really strong, but you'll see here that it ends up failing. And this happens a lot when we're trying to use the Wi-Fi upstairs. It just does not work, or it won't connect to anything when you're trying to go to a website or load something on your mobile device. Okay, so that's going to wrap up all of the testing that we're going to do on the stock AT&T provided gateway. Now I'm going to install the Wavlink system, and we're going to redo everything and see if we can yield better results. Now the setup for this is going to be different depending on how you're trying to connect it, but in my case, I'm going to be plugging in one of the provided RJ45 Ethernet cables to this blue WAN port on the back of our AT&T provided gateway, and then I'm going to take the other end of this cable and I'm going to plug it into the back of the Wavlink system where it says Internet. And that is basically the WAN port on the gateway. From there, all you need to do is plug in the barrel connector into the power port on the back of the Wavlink, make sure it's plugged into the wall, and then flip the power switch to on, and then we can start our configuration. Now again, my situation is going to be completely different than yours. AT&T does not provide a way to do bridge mode so that we can avoid double NAT. It does have this pass-through mode, but I've read that it causes all kinds of problems when you try and use it. So instead, the way I'm going to configure this is to just disable the Wi-Fi on the AT&T gateway altogether. We're going to be turning off both the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz SSIDs, so it's not broadcasting at all. And then when we connect the Wavlink system up, we're actually going to put the Wavlink system in bridge mode. So it's going to allow the AT&T gateway to continue to do all of the routing, all of the configuring, all of the assigning of IP addresses, and we're basically just using the Wi-Fi extension off of the Wavlink system itself. And so that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. And then from there, I'm going to show you how to get everything configured, but just know that my setup is going to be completely different than how you may want to set this up. Now you can, in theory, choose to use their app, and this is the app they have on the iOS App Store. And when I tried to use it to set it up, I got this weird error. So I went ahead and I got on my computer and I logged in going to 192.168.20.1. And this is going to walk you through an entire setup process to set up and configure both the main node for the mesh system as well as the one that's already paired to it. And you'll be able to see if they're both configured already once you get everything set up. And so I'm just going through here. I'm leaving everything on the stock default option for the purposes of this video, and I'm just running through the actual setup process. Now, one thing that I did find interesting is they don't have all of the US time zones listed in here. So what I ended up having to do was pick a different one that was the same UTC as where I was located. But nonetheless, it still gave me the right time and it worked. I just thought that was interesting that when I picked United States for my country, it didn't list all of the proper time zones. So you can go ahead and set a Wi-Fi password and a Wi-Fi name here. I'm just going to make up something really quick and then I'm going to click save. From there, it will apply all of the settings that we just walked through and it'll reconfigure everything within the router. And you might need to reconnect to the network itself, especially if you change the name or the password. But once you reconnect to the network, you'll be greeted with the splash screen where you can just log back in. Now, once you're logged in, you'll see this dashboard that gives you a lot of information. It'll tell you if both of your nodes are connected here at the top, and then it gives you devices connected, your Wi-Fi and network information. But what we're looking for is the panel at the top where it says home, wireless, network, clients, and more. Now, if we select on more, that's going to take us to a whole nother list of options. Now, I'm not going to read through all of the features. Just know this thing has a lot of stuff that you can configure, both from the web interface as well as the mobile application once you get that up and running. Now, what we're looking for is remote access. And once we select that here on the left-hand side, this is where it's going to tell you whether or not the cloud app function is enabled. And that's what's going to allow the iOS and the Android app to actually work. Now, for whatever reason, it is already enabled right out of the box, but like you saw, we couldn't log in. And I'll show you that after we've actually configured the gateway, now if we go back to the mobile app, it will actually let us log in. Now, surprisingly enough, the mobile app for this Wavlink system is not just some watered down version of the web interface, and that's typically how these things work. But it would appear that you get all of the same features identical to what you get in the actual web interface on a computer. And I'm just going to kind of click through some of these shortcuts that they've created. So they give you the 8 most common here in the panel when you first log into the app. But once you go through all of these and take a look at them, if we were to click more at the bottom, if none of these applied to what you were looking for, you will see that you get this whole list of stuff, and it's the same stuff that you get on the web interface on the PC. So that's really cool to see that they didn't dilute this down at all, that you get full functionality once you get this up and running. And really quick, I just want to jump back over to the web interface just to show you that all of the settings here on the left-hand side under device status, network, wireless, mesh, all of that stuff is the same stuff that we were just looking at in the mobile app on my iPhone. And so again, I just want to reiterate that that's really cool because a lot of companies don't do that, or if they do offer a feature like that, they make you pay for it. And so I really like how Wavlink has implemented this. The thing that I think is neat about this is if we go back to the home screen and we click on mesh devices on the home dashboard, it will show us all of the nodes that we have connected on our network. So if you have a question of whether or not one of the nodes is working or it's connected properly, or if it was paired from the factory properly, you can go in here and look and see if it's actually detected within your network and it's running properly on your system. So I think that's really neat. Okay, so for setup, I put the nodes the farthest apart I could, with the first one on the first floor in the same spot as the AT&T gateway in the corner of the home, and then on the second floor, I put it in the corner of the home on the opposite side of the house. This should, in theory, give us full coverage within the home.
So now we have the Wavlink mesh system set up, and I'm going to conduct the same test where we just see how far away we can get before it starts to cut out. And then when I get to where I can't walk any farther because there is a lake, I'm going to just try and do a speed test if we still have signal, and we'll see how that goes. So here we go. So we've already passed the location of the original gateway losing 1 bar of service, and we're still at full service. And right here, it's struggling in between 2 and 3 bars, 3 bars on my iPhone being full service. So we're gonna go ahead and try and do a speed test right here. That's not bad speeds. I'm pretty far away from the house. All right, let's see what we get if we keep walking.
Now, just for a visual representation, I wanted to show you that I made it to right here with the AT&T gateway, which is basically the second to the last tree. And then I made it right here with the Wavlink system, which is just past the tree right after that, or the last tree. Now, I did conduct a speed test here, and you'll see that we're getting much better results with the Wavlink system than what we got with the AT&T system. I did also try to run a speed test with the AT&T system from the same spot, but it did fail.
So initial thoughts, pretty good performance so far. We're going to go ahead and keep testing this and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we got the Wi-Fi extender installed upstairs, and now we're going to redo the actual Wi-Fi test up here to see if it's any better.
So now I just kind of want to compare everything so you can see it side by side. So you'll see with the AT&T gateway, as well as the Wavlink mesh system, the Wavlink mesh system did a lot better than the AT&T gateway, with the AT&T gateway failing both the long distance test where I actually hit the lake outside and then the upstairs test. Now, I can say that I have absolutely no idea why, when we did the outside test, the further one, test 2, why I got a lot higher speed than on test 1. Now, I know you're not there, but you do kind of walk downhill, and then when you get across the street, it still kind of starts to slope down a little bit. And then right before you get to the lake, you come up on top of a little like miniature hill. And I don't know if maybe that's why I got a little bit of a bump in service there. But overall, I think the Wavlink system did really good in comparison to the AT&T gateway. I've left this installed at my family member's house, and to date, they haven't had any issue with it. And overall, I think this is a really good product, especially in terms of price point. So this is coming in a lot cheaper than a lot of its competitors, and you're getting a lot of features that other companies would make you pay for. And I'll give you an example of that. So I currently have an Eero mesh system in my home, and I don't even have half of the features that this system has, and the features that I do have, I have to pay for. So they make you pay for a premium service to do anything outside of the basic stuff like turning your Wi-Fi on and off or changing your SSID name. But if you want to actually try and configure your network, you have to pay a premium to be able to unlock all of those features. And on this system, you just don't have to do that. They give you the whole kitchen sink right out the gate, and that's awesome. So far, everything has been working well. It looks great. We have good coverage, good speeds, actually way better speeds on our long distance test, like I said, and then the internet is now usable upstairs, which is fantastic. That's what we set out to do, and we did it. And I couldn't be happier for my family member now that they have working Wi-Fi in their entire home with this system. So that's going to conclude all the testing that I did on this product. Now, I can tell you that my family member is very happy with the device. They are still using it today, and it has given them a lot better access to the internet on the second story of their home. Now, if you have any questions about this product that I may have missed, hit me up down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, I'm going to put a link down in the video description. And if you liked this content, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's free to you and it helps push these videos out to a broader audience. But that's about all I got. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.